It's a long time. Yeah, like I feel a little emotional um, just for her. She's like, to have one injury is hard enough, and I tore my ACL, so I know what it's like. And I actually, not dissimilar to Bree, tried to come back around the 9 or 12 month time and had to sit out like a whole another half a year. So it's probably thinking back to my own experience, but just to have someone she's torn twice, and then to have the meniscus issue, it's just really good to see her out there. She played great for us in Europe, and we were so excited about what that was going to look like. And then having this little hiccup, so really happy for her. She's super nervous. Obviously, she's not a point guard. She's just a great basketball player who can play all positions. And so to have Lee be out and then have to, not only are you back, but can you also run the one to give Lynn some breaks? So I think she was a little bit nervous, but really happy to be out there. And, she said that she was a little winded, which it's just different. She's been running on the sidelines and doing bike workouts and stuff, but it's just not quite the same as being in a game. And really happy for her. She brings so much to our team, and she's done the best that she can to bring that stuff off the court throughout this time that she's been out. But having her on the court is her best asset to our team, and we're just better with her. So I'm happy for her as a person, happy for our team as a team, as basketball players, but also it's just great to see. And I love that Spokane or the Gonzaga fans were so gracious and cheering for her when she subbed in and when she made that basket. And I think she feels the love. So.
Now, this is going to sound strange, but with all the newness today, the two girls back, Callie starting for Lee, did it kind of seem at times it was like a season opener instead of...
Kinda, yeah. It is always interesting when this was the last game. We divide our season usually in 3, which I think is pretty common. The non-conference, the conference, and then the postseason. And it's usually at this time you're a well-oiled machine. And we looked it sometimes definitely on Wednesday like a well-oiled machine. But then you're adding players and you're subtracting important players, and it does feel, what's the rotation? And you play a good team. So it's not super smooth, and it wasn't easy today, but we still have a lot of veterans. We also, I think we have a little bit, it's not the same as last season, but we all did, almost everybody on our roster did experience last season. And so we have a little bit of that attitude of, okay, well, whatever. It's only one player, it's not 4, or it's only this or only that, because we've had a pretty high level of success in the past, but it is cumbersome a little bit, and you got to just work through it. You got to direct the baskets a little bit more than you would if you had 2 trongs out there just understanding what was going on with each other all the time. And so it did feel a little bit awkward at times and a little bit not stagnant, but the ball stuck a little bit more than we would have liked it to. It's the first game that we've had where our offense was I was frustrated with our offense at halftime, and that's the first time this season that's been the case. So
I just have one more question.
Yeah.
Isaac. Coming back is one thing, but scoring when she comes back, how much is that basket going to give her confidence as you go through the season?
Oh, Bree, yeah,
Bree,
yeah.
Bree.
Yeah, I think that it's great to get the first one out of the way. I think she was trying not to press, but to us, all of us that know her, she looked like she was pressing a little bit, dribbling it in there to areas where she wouldn't normally do. I think there's probably there's the mental part of coming back from an injury, and so I think having a basket, having the game behind her. We wanted to get her for a couple minutes against Arizona, and she just wasn't released yet for us. Just to say 5 minutes. Can we play her for 5 minutes and just let her run around a little bit? And she's been warming up. Those of you guys who've been paying attention, she has been warming up the last 3 games, and so has Destiny, because it's been a long time with being out. And so I think they were trying to shake some of those cobwebs off, but I think the actual game time and the basket are going to be hopefully helpful. She's a good player. She's going to go home and play one-on-one with her brothers for the next 6 days and be ready to go when she gets back.
You talked about the frustration with offense. I thought it was just a real grinded-out defensive game.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the kind of game that will help you going forward in the conference?
Yeah, well, we reached our defensive field goal percentage goal. We didn't reach our 3-point goal, and we let their shooters get too many threes off. But we did get the stops we needed, and we did stay disciplined for most of the time on how we were going to defend the personnel, because they ended up shooting quite a few threes, but that's not their strength of their team. The strength of their team is the paint and driving the ball in there or passing the ball in there and getting the rebounds and scoring inside. And so unfortunately, the 33, that is her strength. 30, she's pretty good at it. So unfortunately, the wrong ones got the threes. But there are several others that took threes that it was like, okay, if you're going to do that instead of driving it at us, then that's the game plan. And so I think we executed it. And we're going to go into conference where you have to be able to stop individuals and you have to be able to stick to the game plan for the entirety of the game, and because they know you as well as you know yourself. And so it's something to grow on. I think is just the same as we're talking about Bree and having a basket and having time, and she's going to be more ready. I think our team, we were all cheering in there for the field goal percentage because that's a goal that we have, the defensive field goal percentage. And so hopefully we can propel us forward as we go to guard. Our next game is against a good offensive team in Portland who has a lot of talented players, and we're going to have a low field goal percentage defense there if we want to win. So
Did you get out of, now that non-conference is over, did you get out of the non-conference season what you had hoped to get you ready for conference?
I think so. I think, I don't know what our record is. I think it might be 13-2 or something like that. Yeah, and if you look at it on paper before, I think that we would have been pleased with. I didn't know where the wins and losses would come from, but you don't win them all. I think that we got Kaylee back in a rhythm. She's playing great, and she'd been out last season. I think we've figured out how we can do things with that group of high-powered offensive players, and then when we bring in some subs, how we can continue to maintain the intensity on offense and just the rhythm on offense. So we were tested. We saw these guys ran dribble drive offense, really checked us out. I think we saw about all of it. I mean, we played teams that were all inside. We played teams that were all outside. We played the fast ones. We played the shooting ones. We played All-Americans. We played some teams that didn't have anybody who we'd ever heard the name of before. We played 7 teams that we've never played before this year. We had 7 teams on our schedule in our non-conference that we've never played. So, and I think that we put together a good schedule that was going to get us prepared, and hopefully we'll see. Time will tell if we're going to be prepared, but we certainly know where we need to improve, and we know where we're strong, and I think our team has grown, and that's what you can hope for.
Where do you need to improve?
Well, I would say continuing to focus on field goal percentage defense. I think that's an area where just guarding, we got a bunch of shooters and a bunch of scorers, and you got to convince them that we're going to score it better and shoot it better if we can stop people first. So that's one area for us for sure. Tonight was not a great rebounding night for us, but we're continuing to build on that. And I thought up until today, we've been really going in the right direction on rebounding. I firmly believe that rebounding can change the outcome of the game. And in the games that we won in some of those rivalry times back in Old St. Mary's and with BYU, and if Stanford's a non-conference rival, some of those big games the ones that we've won, there's been a sizable rebound advantage generally, or very often. And so I believe in that as something. And then offensively, we just got to continue we share the ball really well. We had 21 assists on 25 made baskets. It's crazy. And we are not a selfish group of players, but the ball does stick sometimes if we're better when we have pace. And so just trying to keep up the pace. But, there's some specifics to individuals, but I think our team is pretty good, actually. And we're starting to get into it where we got to take a deep dive and try to make those. We've made the big adjustments. Now it's time to make these smaller adjustments that can help us get next level.
What's the next week look like for you? I'm sure enjoying Christmas weekend, but then after that, is it back to work, or is it just sort of taking the extended week?
Yeah. I'm going on a date today, and that's about what I know. Yeah. So I got to figure out a babysitter. Next week. Yeah, we have a couple days extra off because the conference has pushed the start date for us, and then I think had a bye or some for some reason we don't play again until the 3rd. So we gave our players or fourth, yeah, it's forever. So we gave our players an extra day or 2. We will be working. We'll be playing. I saw Portland play Oregon. Just watching that out of interest, but I haven't really seen much of them. And there hasn't been a ton of league crossover when I was scouting because some of these teams are out of the area, and a lot of our conference plays some more locals, or someone played Calvert after us, or those kind of things. So,
Played Stanford after.
yes. So I haven't seen a ton of our conference opponents, and so I will be working. Hopefully the players will be resting. We got to go recruiting too, so we get to do that at this time of year with a lot of tournaments and holiday tournaments. So we'll be out and about. We'll be working, but all I know is about the next 5 hours, what's going to happen. That's how we roll in the 48 house.
Before you go into the date, Lee's situation, she didn't play today. Is she going to be okay by the time
Hopefully, yeah, she has a finger thing, so they're waiting for future. They've done X-rays and they have to do CT and all the other things, but hopefully she'll be back. Hopefully, it won't be something that's too long. We won't know anymore until we get the next part. But it's a left pinky. I feel like you just cut that off, right? Isn't that what we would have done? Yeah.
Tape it up, wrap it up.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah, recording.
Thanks.
Yvonne, can you just tell us about ending conference play? Just that feeling where you
Yeah.
are now?
I think Coach Lisa said it best in the locker room after the game. Very proud of how we played and how we fought through this non-conference schedule. We faced a lot of different opponents, different styles of basketball. We faced a lot of challenges on the way, and things like that. We have areas to grow from, areas to learn from, and I think all of that should really show us how proud we should be of how we played through it. I think this just gives us a lot of confidence and a lot of leverage moving forward into conference play to just continue to build on what we've already established, and to continue to grow and have success. I mean, I'm not too anxious. I whenever I'm sitting on the bench, I just try and cheer my teammates on. I'm not really worried when they're out there because good things usually happen. But if anything, just making sure that I know what I need to do when I come back in. I know what I need to do when I'm out, and just being consistent with that. Cheering on my teammates, making sure everybody's on the same page. And when I do get in, coming out with energy. I mean, either the ball goes into me or not, my team's gonna get a good play, and things like that. So just trying to make sure that I stay ready.
Were you, in the second half, were you kind of feeling it a little bit?
I felt it at the end. For sure. Yeah. I will say I was a little bit but yeah. What was that?
Sort of that step away shot, I think, is your final one.
Yeah.
Were you just in the zone there, or just you knew you were gonna hit it?
Yeah. I didn't know I was going to hit it, but I knew it was going up. That's for sure. So
Was that a heat check then, is what you're saying?
I guess so.
So Bree, I wasn't around when you came to Gonzaga, but do you recall the last basket you made before that?
I do not. It's been a long time, so it's good to get back out there. But
Just tell us about being back. Just the feeling of playing.
yeah, I mean, it's been a long time coming. I don't know. I thought I was coming back earlier, and then I got injured again, so it just kind of sucks. But I mean, just go with the cards I was dealt, and it's super good to be back playing with my teammates. I love playing with them, and the feeling from the crowd was awesome when I went in. So
Talk about that. I mean, that knowledgeable crowd, they knew you hadn't played in a while, and they cheered you before you even got on the court. Just tell us that feeling for you today.
the support we get is absolutely amazing here, and it was a really awesome feeling and fun to be a part of. So.
How was it hitting that first basket?
I thought the 3 was in, but the floater was nice too. Yeah, it was nice. I wish a couple more would have went down, but his first game back, just kind of shaking the rust off. I haven't really practiced much either, so it's been a little bit. So
Yeah.
So you just come back and play the point. I mean,
Basically.
I mean, tell me about that. I mean, it's like, okay, you're back. There you go.
I appreciate the trust Lisa has in me. But yeah, I was just trying to get comfortable. I'm glad she put me in with Lynn to begin with, just to get my feet underneath me, kind of thing. But yeah, I mean that's the role I need to play right now. So we're just gonna go with it.
But when you see a teammate like Bree go through what she's gone through, and then come in and get to play, and the smile on her face, what's the feeling as a teammate as you watch that?
I'm just proud of what you've gone through and what you've overcome. I think it's just very rewarding to know that I have such a dedicated and committed and persistent teammate, because you don't always get a lot of those people. Some of those people don't come back and want to bounce back and want to play basketball and do their best and continue to succeed, but Bree, she's done an amazing job over the past whatever time she's been out, just continuing to wanting to get better. And I think having that on my team, knowing that that's the person that I'm playing with, it's a very gratifying feeling. So I appreciate Bree and all the hard work she's put in. And I mean, there's only success coming towards her, towards you. So I mean, I'm very happy to play with Bree. So.
Appreciate it.
Yvonne, could I get a comment about the three steady subs that you've had so
Mhm.
far in the first half? Esther, Mont, and Callie.
Yeah.
Talk about how they played for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, well, we have like Esther and Callie coming in and playing amazing defense. I'm glad they're hounds because I could not do what they do. But they like really give a lot of energy on defense, which flows into our offense. So I mean, without those people like bringing in something that's valuable to us, like we would be very stagnant. And Mount's just a dominating force. Like she comes in and she wants to beat people up, and that's what we need. And having those girls who have been around, have had a lot of experience from last year coming in and being able to do more and find their role and like step into it and like explore like what this program is kind of like about. It's really good having them just being able to be those contributors coming off the bench and giving us energy, giving us flow, giving us momentum and stuff like that.
You get sort of an extended break here now. I think you play to the 4th of January. What's your plans for Christmas, for the break? What's going on?
My flight's at 7. I'm out of here.
We're gonna keep you a little longer.
But yeah, I'm going home to Michigan, so it'll be fun.
Adrian,
Yeah.
I lived there in the first grade. 73.
What?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's crazy.
10 years ago.
So bad they kicked him out.
I know, right? Going home, maybe work out, maybe play basketball. I'm not gonna tell Lisa if I do or not. I'm just joking. I probably will, but
It's on tape.
yeah. Whoopsies. But yeah, I mean, we're just gonna like rest our bodies. We have a lot of time to come back and prepare for conference in Portland and all the other teams that we're gonna face. So, I mean, I just hope that people rest and take it easy. Maybe like run up and down a little bit, but like, let's just like relax. I want to go home and enjoy my time there. So.
All right, thanks.